It was a remarkable, just growing and healing experience for me. But when I was accepted the position as clinical nurse specialist, I already did some work for the Nuu-Chah-Nulth Tribal Council, and out of the blue one day while I was sitting in my office in BC, I received a call from Jeanette Watts, and she asked me if I would come, and they got this funding from Health Canada to bring forth an holistic primary health care model. And I remember me telling her first, oh, I don't think, like, I have to fly up every week. Oh, you can fly up every week to the island. I'm like, really? I don't think I can leave David. And she laughed. She's like, he can take care of himself. 2 days, 3 days when you come up to us. So I thought about it, and I'm glad I said yes, because there I met my beautiful elder, Ellen Dick, and I met beautiful people that I worked with, like Jeanette Watts, Neen, and just so many beautiful people there. So yes. So I was brought on because the community, they were really struggling with many issues, one being the intergenerational trauma, the struggles of the people with substance use, obesity, health problems, diabetes, and so on. So for the Tseshaht community, I was brought in there to specifically work with the community and help with the depression that people were experiencing, the intergenerational trauma, the addiction, but also to focus on obesity. And so it was a primary healthcare project that we decided right from the word go that we'll focus on prevention, intervention, as well as treatment simultaneously. So I created a model, and that's all written in this chapter. But it was a holistic model, bringing in traditional healing practices as well as some Western ways of knowing to help people heal from both intergenerational trauma and addiction. So I went every week for 2 days, sometimes 3 days, fly into the community on the island. It's west of Vancouver Island oh my goodness, I just missed that, but I'll come back to it. And the women that were all involved, we called ourselves the Fire Keepers. We just came up with that name, that we were the Fire Keepers, and we were gonna work together, and my helper, or my support, was Gloria Jean Frank from Ahousaht, actually, but she came and worked on both communities with me. So we focused briefly on education, just educating the community with regards to health and wellness and diabetes and obesity, and bringing forth the exercises and yoga program. I offered counseling sessions to individuals and to families. Every week when I arrived there, we had a wellness, healing, sharing circle going on as well, where we talked about wellness in the context of traditional healing practices. And at that time when I was there was a residential building maintenance worker program going that was brought in by the North Island College. I was stunned to see that the professors of the college came to the community actually to launch the program. So that was of course, in Ahousaht. But I met all of the people in that program as well, did sharing healing circles with them. And I think that my inspiration for writing this book again, The Courage of a Nation, was in spite of the hurts and the pains and the residential school trauma and all the intergenerational trauma that was still present in the community, that this community had so much resilience and so much courage and so much strength. And I talk about some of the stories in later chapters. And that really inspired me just so much. I mean, as I said, I started working sometimes 7 o'clock in the morning with my first client. I'll end up 8. Sometimes I ended up at 9 at night because I didn't really want to send anybody away. And when I launched, for example, the yoga program, initially I just had 1 or 2 people like, what is she doing? And then eventually the women started coming, and we were a beautiful circle of just doing yoga. They even made a little, I call it my res video. Jocelyn even videotaped it, and I'm still using and giving that video to people that really need, the yoga. I did mindfulness, meditation practice, and just in general, we use that holistic approach, not knowing that later on I would go and enter that PhD to do a research project on the same thing. But the courage and the resilience is just absolutely phenomenal.